I'm on my grind.
So Errol Spence Jr. has 120 days to fight Jaron Ennis for the IBF, putting the IBF title on the line, or he will be stripped of his title. Now, from what I'm reading, that 120 days means after Errol Spence's next fight. What I find interesting is nobody knows exactly when his next fight is. So how do they know when is his next fight if there's not an official fight date? All he said was he's coming back in June or May, right? May or June, he'll be back because he claims the so-called car accident, which I'm telling you guys is bullshit. I don't believe that car accident is what he said it is. And now you see, that was a reason for him to push the fight till the middle of the year. Okay, so now that holds up the division furthermore. The reason why I say it holds it up furthermore is because at least if we would have knew, let's say Crawford and Spence went into negotiations in March, right? And then they finalized, they agreed, everything was set, and they said, all right, the fight is in May 30th or June 15th. At least we got official fight dates and we know what to go on, right? This dude here gets into a car accident, so-called. Now he's injured, and now they push it into May or June, and we don't know exactly when. We don't even know if he's going to even fight in May or June. It might not even be May or June. It might be later on, right? So here's the thing. How's the IBF saying 120 days until his next fight? So, okay, so what are they doing? Waiting on the sidelines until he actually has a fight scheduled, and then they're going to start counting down to 120 days? I'm not understanding how that works, because that's not the case, right? These dudes are supposed to be so strict on their mandatories, but they didn't let this dude fight. He didn't fight his last man, though, in what? Since 2018, right? For the IBF. Now, I don't know. I'm not sure how often the IBF issues mandatories. I believe what it's supposed to be what do they do it? Like, somebody enlighten me on this mandatory stuff when it comes to that. Is it what? Every year they get a mandatory? Or every 6 months? When is their mandatories due? Okay, now, but he didn't fight his man, though, in 4 years. So are they waiting for him to line up a fight with Thurman? And then they're going to go ahead and say, okay, well, after he fight Thurman, now the clock starts ticking on when he got to fight Boots. So let's say he fights Keith Thurman in May. 120 days is 4 months. So September or October, if it's May or June, he fights Keith Thurman. If it's Keith Thurman, so that would be September or October. He has to fight Boots around that time, late fall, right? So that's the time frame I'm getting. But here's the thing: why do all of that if he could just fight and line it up with Terrence Crawford? So Boots and them are just going to have to wait on the sideline. At least we would know that it's going to be a date. If he's going to fight Keith Thurman, fine. Get that lined up now. Announce it or negotiate something with Thurman. If it's not going to be Bud, if you don't want to fight Boots, cool. Fight Thurman, and then you still get to keep your belt if you win, which he should beat Keith Thurman, right? So then that makes it even more interesting, right? I guess it's putting his belt on the line. No, it's put all his belts on the line. To be honest, I know Keith is weak to the body, but come on, man, you just never know. This is boxing. You gotta keep that. You gotta keep that thought in your head. He could beat fucking Errol Spence. You never know. That will fuck up the fight between him and Bud. He claims he doesn't want to fight Keith Thurman, so I'm gonna assume Keith Thurman is not in the picture right now, unless he's forced to fight him to keep his belt. But if he fights him to keep the belt and he wins, he's going to have to fight Bud anyway. So why even put Keith Thurman in the middle as a risk? We could just go fight Bud right now. You know what I'm saying? Or if you want to fight Boots, that's even a risk. Fight Bud now. Line it up with Bud, and then however the outcome is, he beats Terrence Crawford. Now he's undisputed. He can fight Boots, or he can fight Keith Thurman. I don't give a fuck who he fights after that. Or Bud wins, Bud fights Boots, or lines it up with Keith Thurman. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I told y'all. I want to see Bud fight Boots. I want to see Keith Thurman. I want to see Bud fight. I want to see Errol fight Boots. I want to see both of them fight Boots. I wonder how that would end. I think Terrence Crawford gives him more problems, but hey, that's just my thing. I think I think the Errol Spence fight with Jaron Ennis is probably a little bit more even. I would still have to lean towards Jaron Ennis. But who knows? But Errol Spence, he still ain't no joke in that ring. You know what I'm saying? You can't take that from Errol Spence. And he get a little wobbly sometimes. If we can take a punch from Boots, cool. Boots can take his punch. We got to fight. You know what I'm saying? But if either one of them dudes can't take each other punch, they're going to get knocked out. That's just what it is. All right? So, IBF is saying 120 days. I still don't understand this because IBF, they talk about the IBF is so strict and this and that and the third, but they let this dude get away with not fighting his mandatory for how long, though? You know what I'm saying? So, it's fucked up, though, in the sense, Boots of them shouldn't even have to petition for that IBF belt. But it is what it is. They did it. So now the WBC, the IBF is on Errol's ass right now. The WBA, they were supposed to be on Errol's ass too, but they, the Stanionis thing with the step aside so he could fight Ugas for the belt, they got that out the way already. Stanionis was still supposed to be a thing right now, but Virgil tied him up, so that removes Stanionis from right now. So now you got Keith Thurman and Jaron Boots Ennis and Terrence Crawford. So the likely path that he should take is Crawford. If you don't want to fight Crawford, cool. And you don't want to fight Keith Thurman, cool. You drop your fucking WBC. All that's going to be left is the WBA and his IBF, and he's going to have to fight Jaron Ennis, if that's the case. If he decides not to fight Keith Thurman in the summertime, I'm trying to figure out what happens then. Does he then go ahead and just speed it up with him and Boots, and then him and Boots fights in the summer? Or does he just move up to 154 and say, fuck it, I'm dropping all these belts? Or does he decide to just fight fucking Terrence Crawford this summer? We got to see, because he said he got options. He does. To be real, he really do got options. His options are Jaron Boots Ennis, the winner between Keith Thurman, between Stanionis and Virgil Ortiz, Terrence Crawford, and Keith Thurman. He do have like 4 options, man. Or I guess move up, right? Did I say that? He got like 4 or 5 options. Let's see where Errol goes with this. This your boy, Rebel Life Boxing. Let me know what you think about this situation. Drop a comment. Y'all know what to do. I'll catch y'all later, and I'm out. Peace.